Sigmund Freud is credited with founding the psychoanalytic branch of psychology. By observing his patients, he was able to discover the unconscious mind. He used free association to dig into the unconscious by having the patient relax and say whatever came to mind, no matter how embarrassing it was. Freud called his theory of personality and the associated treatment technique psychoanalysis. Freud believed personality was comprised of three components: the id, the ego, and the superego. The id runs on the pleasure principle and constantly strives to satisfy basic needs. The ego seeks to gratify the id's impulses in realistic ways that will bring long-term pleasure. The superego focuses on how we ought to behave. Because the demands of the id and the superego are usually opposites, the ego often struggles to balance between the two. The psychosexual stages, according to Freud, are the childhood stages of development during which the id's pleasure-seeking energies focuses on distinct erogenous zones. In order, the stages are oral, anal, phallic, latency, and genital. Defense mechanisms are the ego's protective methods of reducing anxiety by unconsciously distorting reality. Freud believed that defense mechanisms help us to control our sexual and aggressive impulses when the ego fears losing control between the id and the superego. A few of the mechanisms include regression, repression, projection, displacement, and denial. The Neo-Freudians were people who believed in Freud's basic ideas but focused more on the conscious mind and doubted that sex and aggression were the only two motivators a person could have. Alfred Adler and Karen Horney believed childhood was more social than sexual. Horney also believed that childhood anxiety triggers our desire for love and security. Carl